Hi, hello, I'm Sam Harris and I read, review and discuss fantasy and science fiction books. Today we have a little bit of a discussion around what I'm going to be reading in May 2024, which is also my birthday month, which you will hear a lot about because, I don't know, I guess I'm just going to chat about my birthday this year. So you may have already seen the April wrap up. I'm going to record it straight after this, and then probably not post it until the day after this. But we actually only read like 1.5 books, or 2.5 books in April, purely because I had honestly just miscalculated the amount of time I'd be spending away in April. So I was away for the entire first week, and then the second weekend and the third weekend of April I was away from home, and honestly that just meant that with the remaining time that I had, I spent a lot more time with I spent the same amount of time with my family that I normally do, but it was concentrated. So for example, this weekend I spent the whole weekend with my son while my wife did a bit of overtime. Me and my wife watched Guardians of the Galaxy 3 because she hadn't seen it and we wanted to watch a movie together. So basically everything kind of conspired against me to the point where I didn't really have enough time for reading this month, but that's fine. I am sure that I will have finished The Shadow Rising pretty soon, which is the last book I think I'm going to end up reading for the April TBR. I was hoping that I would be able to make a start on this next book, which is Demon in White. Now, I will start this week, obviously, but I imagine it will be like the last day or two of April or starting it in May. So Demon in White is the third book in the Sun Eater sequence. All the books that I discuss here are going to be zero spoiler. So you won't have to worry about if you haven't read them. I'm not going to read the back or anything like that. But we're in a really fantastic and interesting place with Hadrian when we come into Demon in White. Apparently this is a more kind of political, maneuvering, machination sort of book. And honestly, I'm quite excited about that. So yeah, it's a lovely copy as well. It's lovely and floppy. I just bought this on Amazon. It just turned up like this. I love the cover, this lovely pink. So really looking forward to reading this one. Honestly, it's been a while since I touched some Sun Eater stuff. I don't think I did in April. No, I don't think I touched any Sun Eater in April because this was meant to be April's Sun Eater. So it's been over a month now, and I'm looking forward to getting back into that world. Next up, so I haven't even finished book 4 of Wheel of Time yet, The Shadow Rising, but the next book I'm going to read after Demon in White is going to be Fires of Heaven. So as you guys know, I like to swap back and forth between sci-fi and fantasy. So this is to hopefully try and avoid me getting a bit burnt out. And that might have actually happened this month because I unintentionally read 3 fantasy novels in a row, which I would never normally do. So I wanted to go straight from Demon in White into a fantasy. And as you guys know, I'm also trying to read 1 Wheel of Time book a month. And I kind of feel like to make sure that I get this one read, because obviously we're cutting it fine with The Shadow Rising, with me not picking it as the first book of the month last month, I'm going to read The Fires of Heaven basically straight away. This one's a bit shorter, I think. It's only... yeah, it's not even 900 pages long when The Shadow Rising is 970. And just about 100 pages shorter. However, the thing that I will say is the margins are a bit bigger and the font is a bit smaller. Not smaller, a bit bigger as well. Almost definitely. Also, look at that. Look at that. We talk about floppy paperbacks here a lot, but like that's a real beauty. I haven't finished Shadow Rising yet, so I don't really know what's going to happen in this book. And I feel like every Wheel of Time book, you're kind of like given another piece of the puzzle and shown a new culture, society, and world to get interested and invested in. Shadow Rising's had a few of those, honestly. But yeah, I'm really excited for The Fires of Heaven. I don't really know what heaven is in the Wheel of Time. I don't think they've really discussed that, so that's fun. after that, I'm going to go back to the old sci-fi well, and I am going to read Annihilation by Jeff Vandermeer. I only just bought this like a couple of weeks ago, but here's the thing, right? Annihilation is 195 pages long, so honestly, I threw Annihilation in on this month's TBR because I would like to get a little bit more back on track, and I am starting to run out of ideas a little bit for videos that aren't reviews, because I used a lot of them in April because I didn't read enough books in April to do lots of reviews. So, yeah, well, you know, sometimes you shift around your reading schedule based on what you want to read. Sometimes you shift it around based on the content. This is the time where I would like to read this for the content. Also, this is one of my friend's favourite books, my friend Pat. So I'm really excited to get into this one. I've seen the film, but I am to understand that the film is quite different to the book, or different enough. I am also planning on, once I have read this one, rewatching the film and then doing like a movie versus film, if I feel like there is enough different to discuss. After that, I am going to be reading a real treasure of the booktube community, The Will of the Many. So I have talked about this book a couple of times. This is a Roman-inspired magic school book, essentially. It's fantasy, but it's set in this kind of ancient Rome-inspired society. Everybody raves about it. My good friend Mare, who is actually about to launch or relaunch her YouTube channel, she absolutely loves this book and says it's amazing and that I have to read it. And while Mare is a very good pusher of books, and our friend Charlie said the other day that he's very excited that she doesn't push anything more addictive. I do agree. I think every book she's told me I will love, I have loved. I think the only place we differ is that she didn't get on with Wheel of Time, and I've been loving it. But Will of the Many is on the TBR this month. As you guys know, I'm trying to schedule 4 books a month with like some bonus books, and usually the bonus books will roll over into the next month. This month, because I'm still kind of catching up on last month, the bonus books aren't rolling over. I did have Iron Gold in as a bonus book last month, but I decided to swap that out for a different sci-fi in May because I would like to continue on with some stuff I've been reading. So, in fact, let's talk about that right now. The next book I'm going to be reading is Shadow of Hyperion. Had to just look at the screen to double check the title because I'm terrible with book titles unless I'm holding it and looking at it. And the other books have them written on the back. So reading this one on Kindle Unlimited, which you can do too. You should be reading the Hybrid Helix. It's great. I love this series. It's kind of Invincible / Deep Space Nine, Babylon 5. So like superheroes in this kind of highly political space action story. Really, really loving this series. Looking forward to seeing what's going on with this one, because there's Wedge on the front, which are zombie dinosaurs, and it says Shadow of Hyperion, and Hyperion is a very important character in these books. So super excited to see what's going on here, and what is going to be in this book. And then when I've read this, I'm up to date. After I've read this, I'm hoping to, but obviously this is in the bonus section, but that will mean that it transfers to the main section for June if I don't have time to read it. But once I have read Shadow of Hyperion, I will be hopefully having an interview with JCM Byrne. We've talked about it a few times. And then maybe we can do something to hype up his next book, guys. So maybe we'll do like a release party or something with some other booktubers who've been reading the Hybrid Helix, and we can all hang out and chat. I'm going to see if I can look some other booktubers up. Final book for this month. So you saw in my book haul that I did get a couple of books from the library recently, and the one that I decided that I'm going to prioritize is The Book That Wouldn't Burn. So the Hardy's Books guys read this recently and loved it. Mayor read it and loved it. Philip Chase read it and loved it. Andrew read it and loved it. So I'm really at a point where I feel like if I don't love this, I'll be going mental, because everybody seems to love it. Really looking forward to reading this one. I haven't got the sequel or anything yet, because I just got this in paperback from the library. But my thought was, I'll read this one this month, and hopefully with the short book of Annihilation in there, I will get to it this month. It's due back at the library on the 18th. But I probably won't get to it before then, but I will renew it. So you can renew it up to 10 times. So I'll be holding on to this one and hoping to read this one this month as well. If I have an excellent reading month, and this might sound weird, but even though it's my birthday, I'm only really like doing a couple of things and not across when I would normally be doing my reading, which is in the evenings, and kind of go see friends in the afternoons one weekend, and then seeing family kind of same sort of time. So because I don't really have any evening plans, I will probably be doing a lot more reading this month. So I have 2 bonus books, which I'm going to kind of decide between at random. So we have Black Tongue Thief, which is also from the library. I picked this one up purely because everyone's saying the sequel is like absolutely incredible. And it's not too long either. It's only about 390 pages. Well, it's basically just under 400 pages. So also look at that cover. I know I've said this before, I think, but like this is genuinely one of my favorite covers in years. I feel like I would put this up against the Bloodsworn Saga as like my 2 favorite styles of cover. This special, like this color highlight as well. Having seen the Daughter's War cover, that one's amazing too. I think if I was gonna, if I ever finish the book that I have outlined and kind of semi-started working on, I might genuinely be looking at Christopher Buehlmann's cover artist, because this is kind of my favorite sort of style. Also, we have one more book, which is The Combat Codes by Alexander Darwin. Again, this is another short one, and that's kind of why I've picked it as like one of the bonus books. This was sent to me by Mare as well. Lovely person that she is. She was like, I didn't get on with this, but I think you'll love it. And I'm genuinely excited to read this one. So I like the concept of this, which is that like in this particular world, armies don't fight and go to war. They basically send like a champion out. So Combat Codes is all about kind of those champions, and like I think one of the characters is like a champion trainer. So yeah, looking forward to this one. If I don't read either of these, or maybe even don't get to Book That Wouldn't Burn this month, these will be kind of the building blocks of next month's TBR. These are 3 fantasy books though, and I will be adding a Wheel of Time. So maybe I will have to make sure that I read at least one of these this month. Because we only schedule 4 books, then we have 2 Might Be Reds, and I don't want to keep rolling these Might Be Reds over and over and over like I kind of did with Iron Gold. But this month was a wild one. I genuinely did not think that I would only get through 2 books, and like I just don't know what day it is. I want to say the 29th. And I haven't even finished it. I haven't finished the Shadow Rising. It is excellent though. I'm loving it. But wild that I haven't finished it. So that's a lot of books. Will I read them all? Who knows? I am hoping to finish 4 or 5 next month, I think. That'll be my target. And then June, I don't know. My kind of sort of plan was that I would read Gardens of the Moon sometime in May or June, so that I would know whether I wanted to pay out on those Malazan special editions. I have yet decided. I think I've pretty much decided I'm not going to read it in May, but don't know whether I'll be able to read it in June. So who knows, maybe I will just take the punt on the Malazan editions and then read Gardens of the Moon if I hate it. I am sure that there is somebody out there who would like to pay me to buy them from me for a face value reasonable price. Anyway, thanks so much, guys, for watching today's video. If you have read any of these books, drop a comment down below and let me know what you thought of them. Obviously, don't spoil them because I haven't read them, but let me know what I'm in for, and if there's any in that list that I might, should swap around or prioritize. The main priorities for me are to continue Sun Eater and Wheel of Time, but most of the other books are like book ones or starting new things. So if there's any there that you think, oh, I should really go for, let me know. Let me know what you're planning on reading in May. If you've got one book planned or 10, just tell me what your favorites are. And of course, if you've liked this video, please give it a like. And of course, subscribe, because every little subscription helps. And I will speak to you tomorrow.